Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review which is The Martian by Weir. I was inspired to kind of read this when I saw it on Audible. I'm doing a free trial, so I figured it was a good book to start with. I'm really glad I did because I really enjoyed this book. So The Martian is the story of a man named Mark Watney who gets stranded on Mars. He's left behind by accident by his crew and he has to survive on there and also try and get the attention of NASA back on Earth. And it's the story of his survival, his ups and downs throughout his adventure. Can I just say for one moment that listening to it on audiobook really helped. I haven't ever listened to an audiobook before, I don't think, since I was like a kid anyway. It really brought the characters to life. They all had distinct personalities and distinct voices, and at the beginning when the narrator throws in a lot of kind of scientific jargon, lots of scientific lexis, I feel like if I was reading it, it would have been like, just stop, too much, whereas just listening to it, it was just better, I think, personally. Watney is a really great protagonist. The book switches from his first person logs on Mars to a third person view of NASA on Earth, so it's nice to get the switch. I personally enjoyed Mark Watney's perspective a lot more in the book. What I love about the book, which I was really not expecting, was that he is trapped on Mars. He is seemingly, you know, there for good. He's seemingly going to die, but he always maintains a kind of aspect of humour. He's very sarcastic, he's very witty, and just a lot of fun to read, but he's very realistic. He's very human and he makes mistakes and he admits to those mistakes, and I think that's what makes him so great. While Watney is quite a rounded character with quite a distinct personality, I did feel that maybe some of the other characters lacked a little bit. You don't really get to find out too many more of them. You get to kind of know the scientists on Earth in NASA, as well as some of his team that went to Mars with him. I don't feel like they got the same amount of attention as Watney did, and I suppose Watney is the main character, but I would have liked to see just their kind of history a little bit more, something like that. Watney does have to kind of carry the story. If you don't like Watney as a character, then you probably won't like the book because it is all about him. He's very optimistic, he's very brave, he's very clever, and I think that's something that I really quite liked, in that he is portrayed as quite a typical bloke. He makes quite crude jokes and kind of nerdy observations. He references things like Star Trek and stuff like that, but he is a very clever character. And what I love about Watney is that he is kind of optimistically pessimistic, if that makes sense. Things go wrong and he's like, I'm going to die, but he'll still make jokes about it. He's like, right, I've bloody ruined it and I've got 2 days left to live, I know that for sure. Quite a lot of bad stuff happens in this book. Mars throws quite a lot at Watney, so you are constantly on edge if things don't go his way. The scientific language in the book made it very believable. It did make it a little bit overwhelming at the start. There's calculations, there's data, there's predictions, and it kind of feels like a lot because you are just totally bombarded with it at the beginning, but I feel like you probably just get used to it after the first few pages, and you get into the swing of the story, and I feel like if you can get over it, then it's really worth it. What I liked was not knowing where the story was going. It could have ended happily or it could have ended tragically. There was no kind of inkling about what was going to happen. For sci-fi fans, I think this book is really great. It's my type of book in that it's a sci-fi book, but it's not a kind of adventure book. It's a much more of a character study, and I've said so many times that my kind of favourite books are when a character is just left to his own kind of devices. I thought we got a really good protagonist in Watney. I can't wait to see the film that's coming out at the end of the year, and I can't wait to see what they do with him. I think it's going to be really interesting. I quite enjoy Matt Damon as an actor, so I think he's going to do quite well. Whether or not he'll capture the humour of the book remains to be seen. So yeah, overall I really enjoyed this book. Although I can understand the hype, I don't feel like it is the best book that I've read this year or anything like that. I think it's definitely worth reading if you are into the genre and if you're interested in the sound of it. I think you'll probably like it, but For me, it wasn't like mind-blowing or anything. I did really enjoy it and I was sad when it finished, but at the same time it was a good book, but I probably won't ever kind of reread it. So that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments if you've read The Martian or if you plan on reading The Martian. I hope I've inspired you in either way to either not read it or read it. Thank you all for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye!